Hello, welcome back to my list of games that turned 10 in 2017. I'm Jimmy from Dying to Play Games, and here are my top 10 games of 2007. Half-Life 2 is like one of the best games ever made, at least my top 3 shooter of all time. The story, the characters, the weapons, everything is perfect. And in this collection you not only get Half-Life 2, but both episodes 1 and 2, the first Portal, and also Team Fortress 2. Let's start with that. Team Fortress 2 is a multiplayer-only game featuring fun, creative characters with different mechanics and great maps and modes. Comedy and competition is the name of the game. Portal is the biggest surprise in this package, bringing new and innovative ways to play a game. The portal gun creates 2 different portals at all times for you to play around with and solve complex puzzles. Also, there's a mystery to solve. Not everything is what it seems. And of course, Half-Life 2 Episode 2 continues the story of Gordon Freeman, and it is absolutely amazing. Now let's just hope Valve will start making games again. Maybe not Half-Life 3, but perhaps at least Episode 3? Please? Continuing the story after The Wind Waker ended, we have Phantom Hourglass, a DS exclusive title that features Link adventuring with his newfound buddies of the sea. However, events occur and you have to rescue Tetra again. This time she climbed aboard a ghost ship that disappeared up in smoke right before you. Go figure. Anyway, this smaller Zelda title is a great RPG with many of the same ups that grace The Wind Waker, and also most of the downs as well. It's a minor annoyance to steer Link with a stylus, but other than that it mostly holds up well compared to other spin-off Zelda titles. As a spiritual successor to System Shock, BioShock takes you to the underwater city of Rapture, where things have gone horribly wrong. Drugs called Adam run rampant down the streets. Communism is knocking on the doorstep apparently, and the power struggle of opposing forces is all too real. And you have a bigger part to play in all of this than you first realize. The atmosphere is something out of this world. It seems that everything was going great. Building a town on the bottom of the ocean, filling it with geniuses from all fields, and ignoring the rest of the world. But it looks like everything just stopped on New Year's Eve 1958. And here you are now. Mechanically speaking, this is a great shooter with many secrets to find and stories to uncover. Would you kindly play this game?
Steady now. Your genetic code is being rewritten. Just hold on and everything will be fine.
The opening chapter for this epic sci-fi saga is an exciting tale with many curves and corners. It's quite the soap opera when you think about it, but it also features some great characters, great combats, and great story intuitions. Without this part, the rest of the Mass Effect saga would be useless. The stories of this universe rivals that of Star Trek when it comes to drama and aesthetics. Take part in politics, religions, and sibling rivalries that will make you lose track of time. Seriously, Mass Effect will make you forget you have a real life to deal with. Seriously though, this is a great game in a great trilogy.
The others weren't so lucky.
Cryostasis shutdown complete. Vital signs stable. Activating various suit. Suit diagnostic complete. All systems functional.
The third chapter in the saga of Prime, Corruption, sees Samus really getting comfortable with who she is. However, this time you have to adapt as well, because this game heavily features Wii Remote and nunchuck controls, and at first it's quite a hassle to get a grip on it. But after an hour or so into the game, you'll be shooting Metroids, space pirates, and other creeps like you've done nothing else before. With an eerie soundtrack, action scenes from another world, and Samus doing what Samus does best, Metroid Prime 3 Corruption is the best of the trilogy. However, Metroid Prime 4 should be coming pretty soon, and we'll see if it can outdo Retro's latest effort in the Metroid universe. Remember a great time, when Call of Duty didn't have wall running, jetpacks, and screaming 12-year-olds on mics. Me neither, the 12-year-olds have always been there, but Call of Duty 4 was the first time the series stepped into the modern world, with a gripping story about nuclear codes, terrorism, and flashbacks to the Cold War. This was a great game. It played like Call of Duty never played like before. The aiming and shooting was on point. The multiplayer felt fresh and always rewarding. This will probably always remain my favorite Call of Duty. I spent so many hours playing this. And yes, I know the story is short, but it's also sweet.
Load the charge.
Breaching! Breaching!
Go, go, go!
Clear!
Naughty Dog's first game on the PlayStation 3 was a masterpiece of grand scale. The story of Nathan Drake, Sully, and Elena searching for El Dorado in a tropical paradise is not a story for the ages, but the gameplay mechanics, the graphics, the music, the locations, and of course the twist in the end are for the ages. Think Tomb Raider and Indiana Jones, popcorn adventure flicks with shooting, climbing, swinging, and puzzling involved. Twists and turns, backstabs, mysterious out-of-place things in the jungle. This is such a treat for both eyes and mind. Sure, some shootouts drag a bit and the story is somewhat predictable, but everything else is close to perfect. This is the start of Nathan Drake's journey, and what a start.
Never a dull moment, huh?
Just keep your head down. These guys aren't messing around.
Before leaving you with my top 3 games of 2007, I want to shed a light on 2 more runner-ups who almost made the list. The first one is Colin McRae Dirt. This rally epic was a grand return for the master of the sport. With tons of cars, tracks, twists and turns, Dirt became its own franchise with several sequels coming up close behind it. This one should not be missed by any racing fans at all. Another runner-up is John Woo's Stranglehold. With slow motion effects like Max Payne and a story like that of John Woo's many movies, this one kept you entertained throughout. It had plenty of shortcomings, sure, but it never got boring. So that's why it gets a special mention here. The third part of the story of Master Chief. This one gives you plenty of action and adventuring in the same package. Take the fight where the fight has never been taken before, when you thought the fight was over. Upon surviving the fall, the Chief has to keep on battling the Flood, with an uneasy alliance at his side. Many imaginative weapons, jungle environments, and annoying little flood beasts later, you get to conclude the trilogy of Master Chief. And this game is a great way to segue into the continuation that now exists in the Halo franchise, that we didn't know we were getting before. Coming up second to last on my list is none other than God of War 2. This game took everything the original God of War did great and made it better. Bigger levels, more moves, more enemies, and of course a great continuation of the story of Kratos. Prepare for quite the challenge as you traverse ancient Greek islands among mythical monsters and beasts. Swing the chains of Olympus and enjoy the bloodbaths that would make Leatherface queasy. Also, this follow-up really showed us what the PS2 could do, as this was basically its last hurrah. It's probably the prettiest game on the console with the most horsepower behind it. So yes, we have finally made it to number 1, and it's no other game than Super Mario Galaxy. This game floored everyone in 2007. Getting Mario in space was something otherworldly. The only other game to surprise this much was Super Mario 64, so it's fitting that it's Mario himself that gets number 1 on my list. This game is so much fun, you wouldn't believe it unless you played it yourself. Collecting the stars, jumping between planets, running upside down, getting dizzy in the process, and overall just enjoying yourself while platforming through a wonderful world of lovely imaginations and contraptions. I don't know what else to say really. This game is a perfect masterpiece, worthy of all the praise it has gotten so far and still gets. That's why it's number 1. That's my list. I hope you liked it, and I'm sure you disagree with it. Please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe, no matter what you thought of it. Anyway, this is my last video of 2017, and in 2018 I'll be doing things a bit differently. More on that later. As always, thanks for watching. Let's go play some games.
Do not touch the operational end of the device. Do not look directly at the operational end of the device. Do not submerge the device in liquid, even partially. Most importantly, under no circumstances should you...